gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join My Lowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
What's going on? 6 o'clock. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I am Robert Walsh. The big story of the weekend, the Rams given permission to quarterback Matthew Stafford's agent to speak to other teams about his value, but this is not a trade request. Instead, the Rams and Stafford can gain a better understanding of his value outside the team, potentially making it easier to get a contract done. That remains the hope, but that outside help can assist in gauging his market and seeing his value, and that his results in whether he will return to L.A. or not. To the Jaguars, they have hired Rams Director of Scouting James Gladstone as their new general manager. The dark horse candidate lands the gig, and with that hire, the Jaguars have the youngest group of decision makers in the NFL, with James Gladstone being 34, Liam Cohen at 39, their offensive coordinator Grant Udinski at 29, and defensive coordinator Anthony Campanelli at 42, all in their roles for the very first time. And the Bears releasing former Titans defensive end DeMarcus Walker after 2 seasons, during which he started 29 games, including all 17 last year. The move saves Chicago about $5 million in cap space. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Monday morning on 104.5 The Zone, back again in the studio. The full crew here when Ramon Foster shows up. 615-737-1045. Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, Will Bowling, Robert Walsh is our producer. And coming up this morning, we catch you up on everything you may have missed in the world of sports and in the world of football over the weekend. The Rams looking for Matthew Stafford to talk to some other teams. The Jags have a general manager who somehow looks younger than me. And Tennessee finds a way to win at Texas A&M, perhaps one of their best wins of the season, all while Shedeur Sanders makes his decision on the NFL Combine. 615-737-1045. It is Monday, February the 24th. At last, I've returned from death's door. Influenza could keep me down no longer. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, glad to have you back.
God, it was
looked
awful.
like that was a bad one. And I know there's a lot of crazy things that are like floating around. You don't know if it's the flu again. You don't know if it's COVID anymore. You don't know if it's some morphed kind of like illness that people are going through. I just know people are sick all the time.
It is true. I've talked to a lot of people who have been going through exactly what I had. I do not recommend it. I think I might become a flu shot person. This is not a stance, a political stance at all. I hate that it even has to be. But like, I just never am like the kind of person that gets the flu shot because it just doesn't cross my mind. I was never the kid growing up that gets sick. I was always just like, you'll be fine. You know, just take a Tylenol. You'll be good. Go to school. I was always fine. Never missed class. I had to miss a lot of broadcasts last week. So
Yeah, you certainly
I am
did.
going to be a flu shot person from here on out because Friday I was down about as bad as I ever have been.
Damn, that sucks. I'm
it
just
was
hoping
awful.
we don't get it. Like, hopefully it's not. What is
I
this?
wouldn't be here if I could
It's not
still give it to y'all.
spreadable.
I got my flu shot already.
What's going on?
Okay.
Did you?
Good
Welcome.
morning. Good morning, good people.
No, I followed the correct protocols. I wouldn't be in here if I could possibly give it to you.
Nah, spread it around. We'll get us all out of the studio, okay?
That's fine.
No, you do not want what I just said. You do not want what I just said.
You can't afford it. You're going to
I'm
the combine
over-
today.
You're right.
I'm
But
over 24 hours without fever, and I'm past 5 days of having symptoms, so there's no way I could give it to you.
oh, come on,
Yeah, that
man.
stinks.
I'm bad as I try to get myself together.
I was
You
just
don't
saying,
want this.
Did you come in throwing like a brick at us or something?
Yeah, I did 2 fatal things this morning.
Okay.
Well, last night. Well, one, I worked out this morning. And then I did not fill up the van, and the van was super low
The
this
Sprinter
morning.
van, by the way.
So I had to stop and get diesel. And here's the thing about it: diesel or using a pump sometimes where it goes slow,
Yes.
you also run the risk of it overspilling too.
Yep.
So this morning I had to wash that. It was
know
slow filling up. I didn't pack up my suitcase this morning either.
Explain
So-
what you're doing, by the way, just for
Oh,
those
we're
who are
going
just
to Indy
tuning in.
this morning
There you
with
go.
Titans Radio. So
For the NFL Combine.
for the NFL Combine,
Very good.
and I'm driving, which I enjoy driving. Okay,
Yeah.
and I have a good time doing that. I might as well give me a captain hat and everything too. But yesterday I forgot to get diesel and also check and see if the tires are low because I don't drive it every single day. So because of that, tires is low, and also had to fill up on diesel. That is by far the worst thing you can ever do in the morning. Say, I'll get it in the morning. Absolutely
I
not.
hate
Do not.
that.
Do not.
I've
do
done
that.
it, though.
And I've done it numerous times.
Yeah.
I knew it yesterday afternoon that I should have filled up, and I said to myself, "Oh, you'll get out in enough time," and I did not this morning. So I text Bert and said, "Hey, Bert, I'm gonna be a little late this morning," and I knew it from the moment I got in. So.
Well,
a
at
lot
least
of
you
everything.
called your own shot, you know?
Yeah, I knew it, but I got to be a little bit better than that one, though. So my
Hey,
bad to y'all.
We live and we learn. I got to go out to some baseball stuff yesterday.
Did ya?
Now, I'll be doing the Vandy game Tuesday.
Okay.
I'll be doing some sporadic Vandy games this year, but Travis, as you know, used to help out at Page
Yep.
as an assistant coach down there, and he's going to measure their bullpen for turf.
Okay.
And so we show up, we think there's going to be nobody there, right?
Yep.
Okay, it's, a Sunday, whatever. We get there, the whole team's there, all the parents are there. Their games start this week, and they were doing a clean out day. And so Red was with us too. So here's Red, and he's just happy to see kids.
Dog,
and,
for those
yeah,
unfamiliar.
Red, sorry. He's happy to see kids. He's all running around the minute that he gets in the bullpen or whatever. He goes out, he's greeting everybody. All of a sudden, I hear the kids go, "Whoa!" no. I turn over. Red's taking a giant dump in the dugout. No.
Fantastic.
No.
So Travis comes over. Luckily, he's got the baggies.
Yeah.
And all the kids are just
Poop
laughing.
bags, okay?
Poop bags,
yeah. Kids and baggies.
Picks it up. And,
in the school zone. Don't do that.
So that was my embarrassed mother, moment of the weekend. No, I'm not a mother of kids. I'm a mother of a dog. But that was a very embarrassing moment.
No, that's not all it was. He got excited, and the next thing you know, he had to go. He wasn't even marking his territory.
He was just being
excited.
like Aaron Judge in October, just taking a dump when his team needed him the most.
Exactly.
I was going to come in and say, too, before me being late took over everything else, we're so back in baseball, okay? All this weekend. All of this weekend, we're so back.
What are you doing this week when you're at the combine?
Well, see, here it is. We had a scrimmage Saturday morning.
Okay.
Miles also had a basketball game at 2 o'clock. From then, Miles also had a game that started at 8:30 Saturday night.
8:30?
Yes, and then we were right back at 10 o'clock Sunday morning. And then we had another one at 12:30. And then Miles also had a basketball practice at 6 o'clock yesterday, 5 o'clock yesterday. We're so back.
I saw a TikTok the other day that said, if you're young and a couple, enjoy being bored because those days do not last forever.
Right,
Okay.
right.
All right, I will.
They do not, man. I'm talking about not
I thought
at
of your baseball
all.
schedule.
No, and then today you mentioned what's today? Well, there's a parent team meeting today also, which I missed. Keisha will be there for that one. And then they start up, like you just said, baseball in Tennessee high school, if I'm not mistaken, starts this week. Wednesday, Thursday, I think, for my oldest. And also football's about to start up for middle school too. So let's go. We are in it, baby.
Busy.
I know it feels
If
weird,
you need
though.
Ramon Foster for the foreseeable future, no, you don't.
Good luck.
you don't.
Yeah.
Is the headline.
Don't ask him to come
If you
talk
kind
at
of
anything.
know Ramon and you're listening to this, he don't want to talk to you for the foreseeable future.
I told somebody I over people at time. Just like all around folks every single time. But that's the job. I enjoy it though. The kids are fun. The kids are excited. Football is starting back up too. So it's actually going pretty cool though. I'm looking forward to it. I knew you were down bad when you didn't go to Knoxville.
Yeah, I missed the Lady Vols Alabama
good win.
broadcast that Thursday night.
Yeah.
Man, it was interesting. The fourth day was the worst day. So I felt better, a little bit better Thursday. I had to make the call Wednesday of I can't do this because I wanted to give someone else ample time. They needed to prepare and all these things. I'll send you all my notes. My prep was totally done. It's like I studied for an exam that I then didn't have to take, which is fine. But I woke up Friday morning and I was in so much pain I couldn't see the pictures on my TV stand 5 feet in front of me. Yeah, because my vision was so blurry. It was bad. I do not recommend. Just get the flu shot, everybody. Seriously.
Is Peyton okay?
Oh yeah, she's great.
The flu sometimes the person that gets it for the most part, I think that's within a few days when you can transmit over some. Long as you get past that, you're good.
Right.
Yeah.
I meant to I texted him on the side too. It was did you check anything out as far as knocking it out quick? Because I think Tamiflu was out, but I think Tamiflu is gone.
They
now.
told me switch between Tylenol and ibuprofen every other time. So or whichever the two types are.
Yeah.
I just Peyton was very helpful. She just had everything laid out for me. I don't even know what it was when I was taking it a lot of the time. But it would just be take this, and then 4 hours later take the other one.
Yeah.
And then do that back and forth.
I know.
And then that steroid pack thing that got me through also.
Z-Pack, whatever.
Some of my
it
Barry
is.
Bonds stuff over the weekend.
That's tough, man. Were you a baby about it though? Because I'll be real. I am. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Friday
I'm the worst sick
yes.
person ever.
Friday I absolutely was. Absolutely was. So
Give me this. I need
oh my
this.
God, yes.
not
Everything
good.
hurt and achy. That's the worst thing about the flu is you get achy and there's nothing you can do about the achiness, man. I absolutely hate that.
thankfully there wasn't stomach stuff. It was just migraines and bad cough, a chest cough, the kind that hurts every time you cough.
Dude, that's what the flu is nowadays. When I was growing up, the flu was I'm puking. Puking rally.
There's two types.
Nowadays, I feel like it's not so much that.
I think there's flu A and flu B. I had flu A.
Jeez Louise.
And that's the thing about getting the shot. You're taking a roll on which one you're actually getting the vaccine for, too, from what I heard, too. So you can get the right shot, wrong strain to get you.
Gotcha.
So maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a doctor. It's just what I hear on the internet.
Dr. Moan. Paging Dr. Moan.
615-737-1045 is our number. Headlines from the weekend. Stoney Keeley, of course, coming up at 7:20. We are talking tackles this morning with the RKW draft expert. I messaged him yesterday to say, hey, are you cool to talk tackles tomorrow? Stoney's exact words were, brother, I'm always cool to talk tackles. And I said, that's why you're our guy.
Yes.
So we're
Ramon's
looking
your
forward to
best
that
friend.
coming up.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
At 7:20 this morning. Streaming live at 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Headlines for the weekend after this on 104.5 The Zone.
You want to look and feel better about yourself? This is the year that you can have thicker and fuller hair. Hey, it's Kayla, and I went to We Grow Hair and have grown a lot of my hair back too in terms of the front where I was losing hair in my temples, and it is definitely a huge confidence booster. In fact, I had someone reach out to me the other day, said, hey, I'm looking at going in and getting checked out. Does it really work? I said, absolutely. Absolutely does. I've been doing stuff in terms of growing my hair back for the past 9 months now at We Grow Hair. They've been doing it, though, for almost 30 years, and they've got proven solutions that will work. No one else in Tennessee has the ARTIS robotic FUE procedure and multi-unit hair grafting hair transplants. They're going to give you 2 times more hair in one procedure. But if you're just looking to grow a little bit of the hair back, you can check out their 45-minute laser treatments and PRP treatments. Those are for men and women, and that's what I've been doing and have seen a great amount of hair growth. Backed by the only company I trust to help my growing, thinning hair. We go to wegrowhair.com, and you can call them right now at 615-376-6010. That's 615-376-6010, or you can simply go to wegrowhair.com.
Monday morning, welcome in. RKW, Ramon, Kayla, and Will, 615-737-1045 with the full crew in studio this morning. Catching you up on the headlines from the weekend, starting in the City of Angels, where the Rams are going to let Matthew Stafford's agent to talk to teams and gauge his market value. News first reported by NFL Network. The sides have been discussing a reworked contract. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN talked about that at SportsCenter over the weekend. After the Rams won the Super Bowl, the team and Stafford agreed to a contract extension, March 2022. It has 2 years left on it, with $4 million guaranteed in 2025, none in 2026, a cap hit of around $50 million. That is, according to Jeremy Fowler, untenable for next season. Now, what do you make of the Rams allowing him and his agent to gauge his value as other teams?
Man, it's fascinating. Let him do the work on where he wants to go. At that point, too, it's a respect factor for me a little bit that, hey, you and your agent facilitate the place where you think you want to go. We don't want to be sending you somewhere that you aren't in the mood for. Like, it's that simple. Because I feel like some teams will still take him. I'm not sure if Carolina would, but there are teams that will take Matthew Stafford because what you're going to get at this point is a 1 or 2 year lease. 2, I think, is stretching it. And that all depends on what he looks like this offseason and also the team that he's protected by, meaning his offensive line to me. I think that plays a huge part in it. A guy like Matthew Stafford, too, the reason you allow him to go do this is because, again, the style of offense that he wants to play, to be able to communicate directly with his agent and say, hey, this offensive coordinator, this head coach is at this destination. I like to play in their offense. Instead of, again, a lot of players don't get these opportunities to say, hey, where do you want to go? They're basically what they're allowing them to do right now. And it also cuts out the middleman of the team to just let them do the legwork and try to negotiate it. If a team says yes and they're serious about it and Matthew Stafford knows they are, that's when it gets a little bit more serious for the team. He can go find a trade partner all he wants to, but it does result to the amount of money that Matthew Stafford wants moving forward, because that was a reporting late last week was they had to, the Rams, find something or do it. They wanted to do a deal that he was comfortable with, meaning money-wise, that he could play under, or find him a destination. I guess the money part that the Rams are willing to pay isn't what he wants right now, and they're just saying, hey, go fish. Mm-hmm. And that's a luxury right there, man, with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know exactly what they're doing with this, but on the outside looking in, I think the first thing is, Stafford's done a lot for that organization ever since he was traded there from Detroit. He obviously led him to a Super Bowl. He's been really good for them. And at the age of 37, I think it's towards the end of his career. I'm not saying it's over by any means, but there's not a ton of years left in terms of his career. And I think they're doing maybe the right thing on his account to just let him and his agent go out and try to seek other situations for where he wants to finish his career if it does not work out in terms of the money here. It also shows me that they feel pretty confident too in themselves, that they'll let him go shop with his agent and see what else is out there and what might be better for Matthew Stafford. But when it comes down to it, I think they feel what they have, and given he and his family live there and have lived there, obviously they like the organization. I think it to me sounds like they're confident in Matthew coming back there, even if it was maybe for a little bit less, because there might not be anything better out there. Or they're fine with him leaving and they can go find one of these other quarterbacks for a year until they figure out what they want to do for their future. Because we've heard the Aaron Rodgers connection there. That's been tied pretty closely to the LA Rams for like a year situation. So I just think they're comfortable within themselves enough as an organization right now to kind of let him explore.
He ain't going anywhere.
You don't think so?
No.
I think there's a strong possibility. I just can't see where.
Jeremy Fowler, that's the point. So Jeremy Fowler said on Friday SportsCenter, said the idea, the talking to people in the league, he's probably coming back. Said there is lots of interest in a trade, but the sense around the league is that cooler heads should prevail. Were the words Jeremy Fowler used on SportsCenter over the weekend. Again, that can change, but to me, I think it's the Rams saying, like, all right, go look at the teams that need a quarterback and get back to us on who your best chance to win next year is. There's not a team in the NFL this year that is in my opinion, a quarterback away. There are a lot of bad teams that need quarterbacks. In the past few seasons, we've had some decent football teams that are a QB away. I don't see that team this time around. The Rams were that when he got traded there.
They were.
They were seen as, hey, if you can upgrade on Jared Goff and really be able to do something with a veteran quarterback more significantly than Goff at the time, who is not who he is now, maybe we could make a run, and they did. I mean, the Brady Bucks were a QB. They were a Tom Brady away. Who is that team this year that needs a quarterback who's that close? Not the Titans, not the Browns, not the Giants.
I would say almost the Browns.
The Browns, but who would want to go there?
But honestly, it's also the amount of money they got to pay him, plus what they got to play Deshaun.
Right.
That's the only issue. Yeah.
So,
but I would agree with.
But without Myles Garrett, then not the Browns. If they're trading Myles Garrett, so I'm saying not the Browns, not the Giants. The Raiders are not just they're maybe a little bit of a better example, but they still got a lot more to do.
Yeah.
The Jets, we just
because
did this
of Aaron,
with the Jets.
I don't think they'll do that.
So those are your main QB needy teams, unless you really want to go down the list of the Saints. Like Saints are in cap hell.
That's a nightmare.
Miami
has Tua.
Yeah, they're not doing anything right now.
Miami.
No, I'm talking about paying quarterbacks. If that's a disqualifier for Cleveland, that's a disqualifier for Miami as well.
Disqualifier. But
I don't think he's
if Tua had a lower cap hit or they were able to trade him away, which I don't think that's going to be the case, I feel like Miami would be the place for him. One, I think because his older age, warmer weather is a part of his decision making also, or an indoor team, and also the style of offense and the weapons. They have the weapons.
Is that line that great,
without
though?
Tyreek.
Miami?
Well, Miami. Without
That's fine.
Tyreek's probably going to get traded away, too. And I think they got 3 offensive linemen that are going into free agency, too. So there's a problem there.
It brings us, there is one quarterback-needy team in the NFL you could say is a QB away. It's the team you played for 11 years.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Could you see Stafford there at this point of his life?
I feel like Pittsburgh is the only fit other than L.A. for Matthew Stafford.
I would expect them to oversell for Justin, though.
I do too.
If
he's already
Justin
there,
Justin Fields, yeah. The thing that sucks for Matthew Stafford is this: he's accomplished everything that he needed to. The ring, the winning, the culture, the bigger brand, everything he needed to. He validated himself from being a really good quarterback on a bad team in Detroit to being one of the best in the league, and he already was one of the best of the league. He just happened to get the ring behind it. The other issue that he's run into, Will, while we're just getting to this point of you just mentioning what team that he has no quarterback in Pittsburgh, is every other good team, including the Colts, has a potential good young guy. And I say that including the Colts with this, they at least got to buy into him one more year. So why would you bring in Anthony Richardson? Why would you overpay for a quarterback for 1 year? That's his biggest issue. Carolina has their guy. Atlanta has their guy. Every squad around the way has their guy. Like, that's one thing that teams have done, whether they are good or not as of late. A lot of them have good young quarterbacks or potentially good young quarterbacks. I forget there were 6 drafted in the first round last year.
Well, and that's why I think...
And 2 more this year potentially.
That's why I think the Titans, again, need to go with the quarterback. Everybody's getting young. It's like, why delay the inevitable?
Because a lot of them are bad.
Yeah, but
Anthony Richardson's. I'd rather
a lot of
not.
them are bad. You are rolling the dice on almost every quarterback every year.
I'd rather not have Anthony Richardson than just be able to say I have a young quarterback.
Anthony Richardson is going to have them drafting again, but that's
that
also
was just a stupid
foolish
decision by them.
Now, here's the thing.
Because they fell in love with him at the combine.
He checks every box of what you want in a quarterback.
Physically.
It comes down to his lack of plays that he made in college. They went with what we're speaking about right now, the potential of his job. I know, but that's been done before. And everybody in the NFL think they can coach you up. So to your point, it's a crapshoot regardless.
Absolutely.
But that one in itself, I think everybody looked at it sideways.
That was probably the more dumb one where we were like, okay, really? Are you going to overdraft him? And they did.
They did. No doubt. Rams could save $27 million against the cap next year by trading him. Take on a $22.5 million dead cap hits the next 2 seasons if it's after June 1st. So we'll see. I'll be surprised if he's playing in another uniform next season, because I also think you're going to go to Pittsburgh and you're going to talk to these other teams and be like, oh, you don't have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua? Oh, okay. I'm good.
Cooper's gone, isn't he?
they're going to trade him.
They're talking about trading him.
him.
They would go get someone
Cooper.
young. I mean,
But then that's Matthew Stafford with a very young squad. I feel like he had a
That's
little bit
the
of
thing.
that last year too.
I think it's more LA being like, all right, you're going to see how good you really got it here the second you go into some of these other buildings.
yeah.
So here, let's bring it back to Nashville real quick. Then could he come here? And like we don't know what the rest of free agency is going to look like. Now, they say they're not going to spend, so we got to kind of roll with that a little bit too. But it's a matter of it being in the South as far as the weather goes, and a coach that needs a quarterback in the worst way ever. Like, does he help? What we spoke about last weekend, does he help win games for Coach Brian Callahan and the Tennessee Titans if Matthew Stafford is around? I don't think it really pours into the idea that you're rebuilding, essentially. If you bring in a very veteran quarterback, in my opinion, without drafting a first-round guy.
Or a bigger deal.
Yeah, like you're not in a full rebuild if that's the case. You're let's sustain it while we can right now. And that might not be the best thing, although it may be the best thing for Coach Brian Callahan and his squad. Because the amount of wins matter in this league, and the way your team looks offensively, specifically for him, since he's offensive coordinator, does matter. It's just a matter of, do you still go get a young quarterback, and how can you surround him with weapons?
Yeah.
It is now, since we've broken it down a little bit more, this is probably the most disrespectful thing you can say. Is they're telling them, go look for a better guy. Go look for a better team. There's nobody out there that wants you the way we do right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, his price gets a little bit lower at that point. They'll make it respectable with what they offer him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fine thing that they're letting him go do what they want to do. But like I said too, and Will said, I mean, there's not much better out there. But I think for a lifestyle thing, with Matthew Stafford and the family, if the Titans were to want him and to be willing to do that and not go for the younger quarterback yet, I think they would be willing to come here. Absolutely. That's the one plus you get as the Tennessee Titans. And I think you're still going to have it, even with, a guy like Rand Carthon who's not here anymore and had that connection with certain players and bringing certain players here that maybe wouldn't come here. It's the lifestyle. And I think like a family like Matthew Stafford and his wife, I think they would love to come here if they were able to, compared to anywhere else. Now, compared to LA, I don't know, because again, he knows what he can get there. He doesn't know what he's going to come and get here.
I don't think him at 37 would be interested in coming here with where this franchise is, though.
Right. And I'm just saying the lifestyle part, if that were to come into play at any point of like, hey, we're not going back to LA, where else would we go?
Man, this is unless
37. I don't. He wants to win.
It's more here than I don't think they'd go to Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't think he wants to play in that weather.
He could win.
Don't think he wants to play in that at 37 years old.
Lived in Detroit.
He's dealt with injuries, but that was indoors.
I don't know. We still got to live there. We still got to play NFC North teams.
He does. He does.
I don't see him.
As far as like who he's able to call, let's just keep it there. Who he's able to call, Pittsburgh, potentially Cleveland. Does Vrabel pull
Giants?
But Vrabel's not doing anything. They've got their quarterback.
But New England's also come in the same spot as where Minnesota was. But as far as like Minnesota,
Drake May's already done more than J.J. McCarthy has.
Okay.
I don't think
so
it's
New
the
England's
same
off the list.
situation.
The whole AFC East is off the list. Although I still throw Miami in there, considering Tua's injured.
Well, the
but
Jets are in there too.
Jets,
they need a
Jets and Giants both are
and
QB needy.
Looking at what Aaron did to them, though, like I just think they need a full reset too.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
they're in a full reset.
Stafford.
That's why I think they go
That's a
get
big
a quarterback.
market. It is a big market. Again, I think he just got to come on back home, baby, is what they're going to have to tell him at this point. That is a very respectful thing that they're trying to do with him and say, hey, go find you a deal. And also we'll talk to him for you.
Yeah.
But there's actually nowhere at his age right now, what he's been capable of, that anybody's going to pick him up other than Pittsburgh, Cleveland, maybe. That's it.
I think the Giants are the other one.
And Giants?
Yeah. The pre-draft rumors seem to suggest that the Giants really like Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
But again, we felt like the Texans were not in the quarterback market a couple of years ago this time, that they surprised everyone and drafted C.J. Stroud. So hard to know what really is real or not out there.
It's hard getting old in this league, man, especially when you think you can play. Like a guy like him
comes at you fast.
Just bow out.
He can still play.
He still could, but like under what money does he want to also?
Right.
Because that was the other part. Like I said last week, they were talking about, hey, it's got to be a number that he feels comfortable with. many people don't get to feel comfortable with their number. Like, are you going to do it or are you not at this point?
I do not think the Titans should be interested in a 37-year-old quarterback who is going to cost you draft capital.
I don't think they should be interested in any quarterback that's over 35 right now.
Really?
I mean, I don't think they should be interested in Kirk Cousins. I don't think they should be interested in Aaron Rodgers. No. I mean,
Cousins would be league minimum.
Yeah, that's the only thing that gets you with Kirk. Kirk is league minimum.
And he's
Derek
coming off an awful season where he was benched.
If you can keep the quarterback number under 20, under 15 potentially, with the idea that they know, again, we spoke about it last week, like that side of the ball needs leadership from somewhere, right? And if you go get Kirk or you go get Derek Carr, like, to me, at least it helps stabilize. I think you can still make that move and still go get your first-round quarterback if they're cut. To trade for him is a totally different conversation. That's the other thing with Stafford, too.
Interesting. Apparently a caller didn't want to be on air but said Seattle was the only option for Stafford.
Seattle's the only option.
No.
Don't understand that.
Not at all.
They have
First of all, he's not going to Seattle, a rival. That's not happening. They have
Geno Smith.
Bobby Wagner did it.
Yeah, but Geno Smith is their quarterback right now for at least the next year. I mean, they're not going to.
What's Geno's deal looking like?
They're not going to sit him and bring up, like, that's not happening.
Geno had a good.
not realistic.
He had a good finish of the season last year.
I think Seattle would draft a quarterback before they brought Matthew Stafford, to tell you the honest truth.
Geno Smith going into the final year of his contract next year on a $44.5 million cap hit. He's 35. Gosh, he got old fast.
But he got good in his older days.
He is good.
Which doesn't happen
He's a
often
fine
either.
quarterback. He's just, man.
Yeah, he's getting old. Absolutely.
This is the final year of that
Crazy.
one.
How
For a
old are we?
quarterback.
That's wild.
And they have, I mean, he's got to be on the roster this year, too.
Yeah.
They'll probably, I imagine they're restructuring that deal, though.
I hope we get fireworks out of the combine this week. I hope there's trade talks, man, and all this
I'm
type
sure
of stuff.
there'll
That
be
would
something.
be amazing. That would be amazing if they move these quarterbacks around.
Mayor Ron, 615-737-1045. Good morning, Mayor Ron.
Good morning, RKW. How are y'all this morning?
Good morning.
I left with Bert mad saying I was filibustering the last segment and didn't quite get my trivia question out to Ramon, but I figure you've been freestyling mentally since then and probably figured out that question. Also, remember that Coach said he would leave no stone unturned looking for a quarterback, so we got to hold him accountable for that. Now, for you, Will, a couple of weeks ago you said, man, I got to get my driver straightened out. I got to go to the range, and I get my driver straightened out. Then I'll decide whether I'm going to play or not. It's going to be real pretty this week. And if you're familiar with McCabe Golf Course, which I don't know if you are or not.
I am.
Trivia question, you know the name of the clubhouse? Who's the clubhouse named after?
Oh, I don't know.
Me.
Oh.
That's the Hickman Clubhouse. That would be my grandfather.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
So he's the pioneer of golf in Nashville. But I'd love to meet you out there at the range and help you out a little bit, and we'll get that driver straightened out so you can start enjoying your golf game heading into the warmer weather.
Thank you,
Look
Mayor.
at that, Bear.
Ron
We'll have our people talk to your
Offering
people,
up his
right?
services. Man, I love
Appreciate
McCabe
it.
Park. That's a great
Does he
golf
get
course.
to
and park over there.
go for free though? That's the real question. Like, are you getting around for free?
It's a municipal golf course. It's probably $10. I'm happy to
Yeah,
pay.
it's
okay,
pretty.
all right. Well,
don't
if that's
mind.
the case, then I'm
Support your
Pretty
local
cheap.
muni, friends.
Yeah.
Look at Mayor Ron.
Look at Mayor Ron, man. He got
Offering
your
up
vote.
We may be in
Golf
touch soon,
lessons.
Ron. Thank you.
Absolutely. Are you? If Matthew Stafford was signed here, would you be upset or okay with it? That's the ultimate question too for this fan base. Would he make you sleep better and bring that excitement?
What am I trading
back?
for him?
Yeah, that's the biggie. That's
Depends
the
on the
biggie.
price.
There's just
I
not a
forget
lot
about
they can offer.
If you could magically just sign Matthew Stafford without trading anything valuable for him,
Trade.
yes. Mm-hmm. I am not willing to trade any draft picks for a 37-year-old quarterback
No.
where this franchise is right now. No.
Not even a seventh.
Well, a seventh, yeah.
Okay,
but like,
all right, all right.
But
let's be
it's gonna-
realistic.
he's
It's
gonna
going to
take more
cost
than that.
a day 1 or 2 pick.
yeah.
I'm not willing to trade day 1 or 2 draft capital for Matthew Stafford.
It ain't happening.
But teams know his ability to be moved is low. Like, if they just did what we did in this last segment, they know you only got like 2 options. And one
Which
of
is
them
why
might
he's gonna go back to
oversell.
LA.
And one of them might oversell for Justin Fields in Pittsburgh. So you down to 2. Us and maybe one more team. If the Titans come in correct and offer up a 7+, take the salary, give a new deal. You got the money to do it. Would that make you sleep better at night going
No,
into the
because you're
25
delaying the
season?
inevitable of.
Would you be
draft
excited?
Cam
No,
Ward.
not would you be okay? Would you be excited about it?
No, I'm not a fan,
not.
so I'm
Okay.
I'm looking in a different direction, being realistic about this organization.
They'll draft a
They're going to